All right. So, just to start introduction, what is your name and what is your relation to me?
I'm April Cantuna, and I'm her sister.
Okay. So, question number two: how old were you during COVID, specifically March 2020, and what grade were you in?
I was 11 years old, and I was in fifth grade.
Okay. So my next question is, what was your experience like during COVID, and what did your peers, like your friends and everybody, think? Like, what grade did you say you were in?
I was in fifth grade.
In fifth grade, what did the other fifth graders and you think about it? Like, did you guys take it serious? Did you guys not take it serious? Was it scary? How did it affect your school? Like, did you walk? Did you have a ceremony? Like, answer that question. What was your
I
experience?
mean, it wasn't even that bad. We were just joking around and playing Roblox the whole time, and I don't know. School just stayed the same for me. Honestly, it was still boring, and
But how did it feel to not walk? How did it feel to not have that graduation experience or ceremonial experience?
it was a little bit sad. I was expecting a huge ceremony. Um, I was a little bit sad that day that it had to be on a computer screen, but it was fine.
And some of the kids that went to different middle schools, you never saw them again, right?
No,
So how did that make you guys feel if you talked to any of those kids?
I guess I'll feel a little bit sad, and I'm happy. I don't know if we're in a good school or a bad school, but I'll just be happy to talk to them again.
All right. So the next question I have is, do you think it will have long-lasting effects on you, or does it still? Like, what I mean is, did the pandemic, or COVID specifically, do you think it's shaped how you are as a person since it affected you so young? Like, what effects, if there is any, did you have? Like, for example, I'll say for me, I noticed I had a lot of social anxiety after. I never had that before, but going like over a year without really leaving the house, without seeing people, the next time I stepped outside, I had new anxieties I wasn't aware of. So something along that lines, like, do you have any effects that you're aware of from COVID?
Um,
I mean, I know you're so young, so it's hard to tell, but like, what if any?
um, I was like a sassy extrovert, and it was easy for me to make friends. But after COVID, I started becoming more introverted, and it was hard for me to make friends because I was just too shy to talk to people, and it scares me. Still to this day, it still scares me.
What about you wore a mask for a long time? Was that for any reasons for COVID, or is that personal reasons? Like, did you feel like, do you feel like you're more scared of getting sick or another pandemic occurring in your lifetime, or not?
No, not really. It was for personal reasonings.
Okay. So my next question, and please give me like a good answer for this one, is: do you think that being from a Latino community like Santa Ana, and compared to what you've seen on social media, do you think your experience during COVID was different from others due to the fact that we're minorities, or do you not think that had any effect in your personal experience?
I don't know. It just felt weird, but I don't know about that.
Like, for example, do you, any of your, I'm sure some of your friends come from more impoverished areas. They might not have access to healthcare, or maybe some of your friends' parents are young. Maybe some of them might be immigrants. Like, do you know any stories of people, if not us directly, thankfully, where being Latino and not having these resources within the community, did you see that had a different impact than other people, or do you think it was genuinely universally the same for everyone?
I'm not sure. I guess I had a friend who was struggling during COVID. I don't really remember when, but she was talking about how. I don't remember.
All right. Well, that's okay. My last question here is, since I shared with you that the poem, do you think that COVID served as a genocide, like the poem I shared with you? Do you think that you learned anything from that experience, or do you think that was a little too dramatic? Because before you answer, like, for more context, like, thankfully, like I said, we come from we luckily have been blessed with more resources than maybe some around our community. But do you think that COVID, in a way, did serve as a somewhat of a genocide? Coming around the times of the George Floyd riots and seeing a lot of different, almost race wars during the time. I know you were young, but active during social
Yeah.
media, got very personal. Like, Do you think that COVID in a way served as genocide, especially with the statistics kind of leaning heavily towards Black, African American, and Native Indigenous Americans, as well as ourselves, like Latinos? Like, do you think that in a way COVID was racist? I guess it's a better way to, more simpler way of asking that question, because a lot of white people or people with money had better resources, better hospitals, better insurances, whereas most people with like universal or not universal health, but I don't even know what I'm saying. But what do you think? Do you think COVID serves as a genocide?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I do think that it did bring some racism. I don't know. I had an Asian friend. He said that Roblox, he got bullied from his guys in Roblox because he was Asian supposedly, and they just kept saying that he's the main reason why COVID started.
Okay, so you saw the ignorance, but you maybe didn't feel it directly from your community.
Not directly from me, but from other communities. Yeah.
I
Same
guess
with my friend Kendall. She also experienced racism too through COVID and not.
Can you explain why? What race is Kendall?
She's African American.
Okay, is there a reason why? Do you know the comments, or was it just general racist comments?
General racist comments, and I guess she didn't like her skin tone because of the comments.
It's sad to hear. Okay, that was my last question, but just like a supplemental question to that one, because it seems like you didn't feel any direct impact in terms of any discrimination and racism. Do you think the reason why you didn't feel anything during COVID is because we do come from a Latino community where everybody is pretty much our race? Everybody is Latino like us. Do you think that being around, like at your school, are you around mostly Latino kids?
Yeah.
So do you think that the fact that you're surrounded by it, that's the reason why you didn't experience it? Or do you think that it just might not have been as harsh as some people might think?
I don't know. I think I just didn't really experience it because I really don't know.
That's what I'm saying. But the question is, like, do you think you didn't experience it because you're surrounded by people like you? Or do you think you didn't experience it because it didn't happen?
Because there's people like me around me. That's why.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's the end of the interview.